Welcome back to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. For the Cardinals, 59 and 71, 17 and a half games back of the Mets in the National League East. Vince Coleman leads off in center field tonight. Ozzie Smith, the shortstop. Pedro Guerrero bats third at first base. Tom Brunansky cleans up in right field. Terry Pendleton bats fifth at third base. Jose Oquendo, the second baseman. Kurt Ford in left field. Tony Pena behind the plate. And Jose De Leon on the mound. For the Braves, Ronnie Gant leads off at second base. Deion James plays left field, batting second tonight. Gerald Perry at first base, batting third. Dale Murphy cleans up in right field. Andres Thomas, the shortstop. Paul Runge at third base. Bruce Benedict behind the plate. Terry Blocker, the center fielder, and Rick Mailer on the mound. And as Vince Coleman steps into the batter's box, well, just before he does, Paul Runge, not the same Paul Runge for the Braves, he'll be behind the plate. Charlie Williams at first base, Bob Engel at second, and Joe West at third. And to bring you to play-by-play, Skip Carey.
Okay, Billy, thank you. Coleman is hitting .268, 3 homers, 33 RBIs. He is 66 out of 89 in the stolen base department. Mailer 2-0 this year, 7-7 lifetime against the Cardinals. That'll be easy for Deion. One pitch, one out. Coleman flies to left. Ozzie Smith will be the batter at .270 in the other baseball. It's raining in New York where the Padres want to play. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati just starting. Likewise, Los Angeles and Montreal. And San Francisco at Philadelphia. Chicago plays at Houston in about an hour. In the American League, Detroit at Chicago. Cleveland at Kansas City. Toronto at Milwaukee. Minnesota at Texas. New York at Seattle. Later Boston at Oakland. And Baltimore at California. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Ozzie Smith. Mailer 9 and 11, a 3.85 earned run average. The count evens at 1-1. Tap to second, an easy play for Gant. 2 out. So Mailer gets the first 2 with ease, and Pedro Guerrero, the batter, you heard about him in our award-winning team, which we do every night prior to Braves baseball. Guerrero at .305, 5 homers, 42 RBIs. Research shows that that's a very good idea.
Well, since the Cardinals acquired Guerrero, they've moved from 9th to 5th in team batting in the National League. They've hit .262 as a team since his arrival. And not just because of what he brings, but I think it just filters down a domino effect. It helps everyone else to know that they don't have to do quite as much offensively to be productive.
0-1 the count to Pedro. If they can keep him healthy, he can be a productive player for the Cardinals. Boy, he really got ripped by some of his National League counterparts. Most players in the Western Division felt the Dodgers made out like banditos in that trade.
Well, certainly for the short term they did. But the Cardinals usually know what they're doing when they're trading for a player.
That's fair, and that's 2 bases into the left field corner. So Guerrero is in scoring position with 2 down. Mailer has had an exceptional year in several accounts. In 194 innings, that's 230 hits he's given up, but he's only walked 33 men, so his ratio of base runners per game, while high, is not as high as you would think because of all those hits. Here's Tom Brunansky hitting .258, but with 19 homers and 73 RBIs. He is a tough hitter with men in scoring position, and Guerrero's there right now. Fastball foul to the screen. 0-1. Bessie Loggins looking in tonight in Lafayette, Georgia. 89 years young. We're glad to have her with us.
Getting back to what you said about Rick, compared to last year at this time, Rick had allowed 24 homers and 85 walks in the same amount of innings. As you said, this year only 33 walks and 11 home runs.
That's a low total for a guy who's around the plate as much as he is. Normally guys who have excellent control give up a lot of homers. Mailer has not. Low and away. A ball and a strike.
You think of guys like Ferguson Jenkins, Catfish Hunter, around the plate a lot. They gave up a lot of home runs, usually with no one on, however.
Robin Roberts, another who fit that mold years ago with the Phillies. A ball and a strike. Let up curve, low and away. 2-1. Cliff Davis, Phil Wheatley here from Idaho Falls, Idaho. Mary Hoagland here from Benton, Kentucky. The Edmonds family from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina. And that's just about everybody who's here. The crowd is a small one. At the knees, a fastball. It's 2-2. Mailer can do that to you. Get you looking for that big, slow breaking ball. And his fastball, while not in the Dwight Gooden class, can sneak up on you. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another fastball, ripped foul into the seats. It stays 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Brunansky just had a swing that exemplified what you were talking about, a fastball sneaking up on you. If he's not behind the count or the count even as it is now, he generally turns on that fastball, but sometimes after showing you that big curveball, that fastball, as you said, will sneak up on you.
The 2-2, there's the curve, and he just missed with it high and inside, 3-2. Tigers got bad news today. Placed right-hander Jeff Robinson on the 15-day disabled list, retroactive to the 24th. He's 13-6, earned run average under 3. Called up left-hander Steve Searcy. The payoff to Brunansky, curve tapped foul. Will have it to do again.
And the Red Sox pulled within a game of the Tigers. That's a damaging blow to them.
You see Nick Leva coaching at third base, Rich Hacker at first. Late status report. Homer the Brave has repaired his cannon. It fired before the game. Everything worked out just fine. The 3-2. Popped him up right side. Murphy coming in. He's there, and the inning is over. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. We've played a half inning of scoreless baseball in Atlanta.
Come on along. Come on along. Head for the mountains. It's bold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Head for the mountains of Bush beer.
The Eastman Kodak Company judges major photo labs on their quality of color processing.
I think we have one.
Nice contrast, but is the color true?
Yet only a few meet Kodak's high standards.
Bring out the determining factor.
These labs receive the Kodak Color Watch seal. One superior photo lab is Eckert Drugs.
Right on the money.
And it's Eckerd?
Eckert.
For color processing that impresses even Kodak, look for the Color Watch seal at Eckert Drugs.
Do you know how fast you were going? Did you know this license has expired?
Now, when you want twice the Pepto, you've got it. New maximum strength Pepto-Bismol.
Speed demon Vince Coleman sparks the St. Louis offense. Braves versus Cardinals, live.
We got the will. Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, one crazy summer.
7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
Jose De Leon is 2-0 this year, 3-1 lifetime against the Braves. You see the Cardinal defensive alignment, and Ron Gant, Deion James, and Gerald Perry will be the first 3 in the Atlanta order. In the stolen base category, the Braves 55 out of 114. And the Cardinals 195 out of 247. Yet the Cardinals don't score a lot of runs. They hope that the addition of Guerrero and Brunansky will change that when 1989 rolls around. And when they get fellows like Danny Cox back, they may not need as many runs as they have needed this year. Gant leads it off, hitting .255 with 15 homers. He's driven in 50 runs. By the way, Zane Smith is going to undergo arthroscopic surgery in Birmingham on Thursday afternoon. Dr. Andrews is going to perform it. And we certainly wish Zane well. I'm sure he'll come through it just fine. The word from the doctor's office was that the bone chips are in the least vulnerable portion of the elbow. So the prognosis is excellent. De Leon's 0-1. This guy is one of those fellas who, at the start of the game, it always crosses your mind, much like Nolan Ryan, Dwight Gooden. There's always a chance of him pitching a no-hitter. He's got that kind of stuff. He's pitched to numerous 1- and 2-hitters in his career. 3-hitter. That ball was ripped, but way foul.
He has a couple of one-hitters to his credit. As you said, he has great stuff. As you look at Whitey Herzog, good fastball. Hard, sharp breaking slider, I guess, is what his breaking ball is. And he throws a fork ball. In fact, some of the players were talking about a fork ball that he threw that looked like a knuckleball coming up to the plate.
The 1-2 to Rennie. Low and away, 2-2. You saw Whitey Herzog a moment ago, and behind him, really an interesting story that nobody pays much attention to. Red Shandy, still one of the Cardinal coaches. He was their manager for many years, and not often do you see a former manager stay on as a coach for a new administration. Right off the end of the bat, Gant barely stayed in live, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think what's even tougher is to have a former manager who would still like to manage, as Bobby Wine, the Braves' third base coach, would like to manage. And you still have to mix that combination of loyalty and your own autonomy. Not an easy thing to do a lot of the times.
2 balls, 2 strikes, the count. Wine, of course, was the Braves' interim manager a few years ago. What year was that? 84? 85. 85. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count to Gant. What year is this? Research shows this is 1988. Our research staff is second to several. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And De Leon's payoff pitch is outside, and Gant works him for a walk. Good start for the Braves. Here's Deion James, having a little bit of a disappointing year. His RBI is just 29, his average down to 266.
Well, if you're not going to hit a lot of home runs and drive in a lot of runs, you want that average up if you're basically a contact hitter with a good on-base percentage, as Deion is.
Say, I was talking to a scout about him since the Braves have been home, who said someday, somewhere, he is going to be a first baseman in Major League Baseball. He hit that ball well into left center. Can Coleman run it down? Vince up with the ball. Gant is being waved. He should score. The throw to the plate is late, and the Braves lead. Well, Deion doesn't have 29 RBIs anymore, and who was that person saying you think about a no-hitter when De Leon is pitching? Not anymore, you don't. 1-0 Atlanta.
Or who was that person that agreed with you when you said that Deion's RBI total is down? Takes a fastball, hits it to left center field. Coleman in center field tonight. Willie McGee bothered by sore ribs. And with Ronnie Gant on the bases, anytime you hit a double in the alleys, you've got a good chance to get an RBI.
Gerald Perry is at 321 as he stands in. A runner in scoring position and no one out. He was out in front. Took it high, I guess. 1 ball, no strikes. Looked like a pretty good pitch. There's a chance of showers tonight, and a few clouds are gathering atop the stadium. That's going to fall for a hit. Here comes James. Brunansky up. His throw to the plate will be let go through. It's 2-0 Atlanta. Gerald got it right off the end of the bat, but he blipped it to right. His 63rd RBI, and just like that, the Braves lead 2-0.
Well, Gerald's been hitting so well in this situation, runner at second base, that even when you don't hit the ball well, it finds a hole. At this point, Bobby Wine decides to wave Deion James. He wasn't sure until the ball took an extra hop before getting to Bernansky.
So the Braves lead 2-0. Still nobody out for Dale Murphy. Double play ball maybe. Ozzie up, unloads in a hurry. Out there. Murph's troubles continue.
Well, you see it there. As soon as it was hit, you knew it was 2. Oquendo turns. You see Gerald try to roll block him. They might have called him out. Anyway, now there appears to be something wrong with Oquendo at second base.
I don't know what happened to him. He appeared to avoid Perry, but perhaps not. Maybe a groin pull from the way he's acting. Let's see if we can pick up what happened.
You see Smith over to Oquendo. Taylor made. Now you're supposed to slide. Gerald comes in with a roll block.
He did get him on that knee a little bit and tugged at the groin muscle.
You can actually roll, but you're supposed to slide before you pop up and roll. Unless you go head first and can touch the bag.
Fastball high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Andres Thomas at 257, 13 homers, 62 RBI. Oquendo still a little gimpy out there around second base. Good fast strike at the knee. It's 1-1. Paul Runge waits on deck. No relation to the Paul Runge who's calling balls and strikes tonight. A ball and 2 strikes. I think Thomas could use a day off. He never complained. Boy, he's played a lot of baseball for the Braves this year.
I think Andres wants to establish himself as the shortstop of the future and certainly one of the best in the league. And he's a little reluctant to take a day off.
The Braves scored 2. They do it on 2 hits. There were no errors and no one left at the end of an inning. Atlanta 2, St. Louis nothing.
In 1.3 billion years, our sun will burn out, leaving us in total darkness. We say it's never too early to stock up for the big night. Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob Light?
My athlete's foot kept flaring up. Put it out, it just flare up again. Then my doctor told me about Tenactin. It cures recurring athlete's foot. Use it regularly. It'll keep the fire from coming back.
Tenactin puts the fire out for good.
Harry, if you don't want to end up in court, you better send that child to court.
I'm calling about your son, Grover. You better send money. His ski trip's over.
Send the money now, you dig? Or we won't make our next gig.
To send someone money fast, come to Western Union. We'll make sure it gets to any of our 10,000 locations, usually in 15 minutes or less.
Cruising.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
With Eckert System 2 photo processing, you always get 2 sets of great-looking prints.
Richard, where are those photos?
Here, boss.
Great photos.
1 set to give and 1 to keep. Prints so well processed by Eckert's own lab, they've been awarded the Kodak Color Watch seal. So when you want an extra set of bright, vivid prints...
Richards, you finally did something right.
For whatever reason. Get them with Eckert System 2. Nothing looks better.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you in part by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
We go to the second inning. Terry Pendleton will lead it off for the Cardinals. Ken Obergefell has an RBI single tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates. We wish him the best. It'll be interesting to see who Bobby Cox plucks from the Pirate organization. Pendleton hitting .249, 5 homers, 47 runs driven in, and he's way out in front of that curveball. Grounds it foul down the first base line, 0-1. 2-0 Atlanta, our score. That ball is really ripped into center. Back goes Blocker. He's at the wall. Great catch. Let's see if he's okay. He hit that wall hard. Fine play by Blocker. He took extra bases, maybe a triple away from Pendleton. 1 out.
Well, this is one of the reasons Russ Nixon likes Terry Blocker, the way he roams center field. Outstanding play.
It's raining in New York. I don't quite understand this note over the wire, but the game is still in a rain delay, but the Padres are playing the game under protest because the game did not start at 7:45 p.m. as had been announced. And I'm sure what they're saying is they got their pitcher all ready to go. The pitch to Oquendo, high and tight, 1 ball, no strikes. Just guessing, but that is probably what they're protesting. Very unusual.
Either that or some television producer had the game scheduled for 4:45.
Long throws. Didn't get it. Good effort by Andres Thomas, but Oquendo beat the ref.
Unusual play because Oquendo tried to call time. He stepped out and then stepped back in the box. Okay, now he's trying to call time. Paul Runge doesn't give it to him. Now he steps back in the box to swing.
Wouldn't you think you'd take that, but it worked out nicely for him.
Perseverance.
Here's Kurt Ford having a tough year, hitting 184. Whitey Herzog was quoted in the papers in St. Louis when we were up there. First the pitch. Double play ball. Gant steps on the bag. Throws to first. He was quoted as saying Ford can't hit a breaking ball. 4 unassisted. Retires Oquendo, and on to first 4-3. He gets Ford. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom half of the second inning. It's 2-0 Atlanta.
You know, there are a lot of places where you can look for an auto part. But here's where you'll find it. Napa has parts for imports and other hard-to-find parts. So come to Napa first. We've got your part.
Americans buy lots of imported cars. Isn't it nice to know that Napa has the parts right here when you need them? Don't miss the boat on parts for imports. Come to Napa.
Sundown, Luke! I'm calling you out! Luke!
Since 1896, some men have preferred to spend their nights in more rewarding pursuits.
Luke!
Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob Light?
Luke!
I want a man with a slow hand. He's got a face that I love to touch.
Introducing the new Schick Ultrex Plus. Its pivoting head has a lubricating comfort strip and 1-push cleaning to shave you smoother than ever.
A touch this easy makes me understand. When it comes to love, I want a slow
New Schick Ultrex Plus, the easy touch for the ultimate shave.
Tonight, Cary Grant has one eye on the war and one eye on the ladies. Father Goose, 10:20 Eastern on the Superstation tonight.
Speed demon Vince Coleman sparks the St. Louis offense. Braves versus Cardinals, live.
We got the will. Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, one crazy summer.
7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
This telecast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Atlanta National League Baseball Club and is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or the accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Atlanta National League Baseball Club is prohibited.
Did it sort of early tonight, didn't we? We go to the bottom of the second, and Paul Runge will lead it off. Runge, Benedict, and Blocker against Jose De Leon. Little tap to short. Ozzie in, up, throwing. 1 down. Runge is retired. Here's Bruce Benedict, who's raised his average back to 249. He has no homers, 16 RBI. Two 2-0 Braves, our score. The RBIs belong to Deion James and Gerald Perry. Plenty of mustard on that, 0-1.
Bruce has one of those 16 RBIs against the Cardinals this season. He's 7 for 16.
Just missed the outside corner. It's 1-1. National Football League suspended All-Pro linebacker Lawrence Taylor of the Giants 30 days for substance abuse. That's well hit and will fall in center in front of Cole. Coleman let it get by, and Benedict still can't get beyond first. What happened there? You got to be on second base on that ball, don't you?
Well, unless you don't go to first base as if you're going to the next bag. You see Vince sort of lackadaisically play that. I'm not sure, though. I don't know if you want to see the person round the bag hard, though, and even if you don't have the good speed, obviously Bruce has catcher speed. You want to take an aggressive 2 or 3 steps past the bag, and possibly you end up on second.
They play hit and run. Close play. He's in there. Take that. But they're going to call interference on Blocker, I think. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Benedict is safe at second. I was called safe at second, but apparently Blocker interfered. Let's see what's what here.
I hope we get another shot of this.
Benedict is going back to first. I don't understand.
And Blocker's going to the dugout, so that appears to be an interference call.
Well, let's see if he stepped across home plate. Blocker is out 2 unassisted on the interference.
Let's see if we can pick it up. The swing, the bat comes back, and
oh yeah, it's the correct call. He's over home plate and right in the catcher's way.
By missing the ball, he falls into Tony Pena's. Yeah, you're right, Skip. Good call.
So Benedict will tell his grandchildren that he really had a stolen base, but that it was taken away from him illegally, and he'll be wrong. Go ahead, Bruce, try again. They'll never expect it with a pitcher hitting. It's 0-1. You better hurry, Bruce. A ball and a strike to count. A ball and 2 strikes. Bob Dernier just stole home for the Phillies, and they lead the Giants 1-0 in the bottom of the first. He did it with himself at third and a runner at first and 2 out. Not a ringing vote of confidence in whoever bats 5th for the Phillies. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I guess Bruce isn't going to take off.
I'm still laughing about that last steal attempt.
When you're 40 games under 500, you might as well.
Almost as if the ground stopped his slide and he stuck his feet out.
It was not a pretty sight, to be honest with you. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Research shows that catchers don't try to do that too often.
Unless you're Santiago or Pena can steal a few.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Now he'll be going. It's still 3-2. Bruce has had an adventuresome time out there in this inning. He's been all over the place. And again, the 3-2. He went, and the inning is over. Mailer tried to stop his swing, but he's called out. De Leon records his second strikeout. 1 hit, 1 interference, no runs, no errors, 1 left. And at the end of 2 complete, the Braves lead 2-0.
Extra strength Alka-Seltzer has more of what you take Alka-Seltzer for. More medicine. More bubbles. For fast relief of heartburn with a headache, try
Extra Strength Alka-Seltzer. More of what you take Alka-Seltzer for. Steel. Muscle. It takes one to perfect the other. And nobody knows that better than Soloflex. Before you take your Soloflex through its workout stations, we put it through some of our own. We start with raw materials. Use force and resistance, knowledge and skill, effort and technique to create a strong, balanced, and functional work of art. All of which goes to show the way we build Soloflex is a lot like the way you use it. For a free brochure, call anytime.
Over 36 million Americans end up in hospitals like this each year. You could be one of them. Healthcare, prevention and treatment on Sonia Live in L.A.
Sonia Live in L.A. News to live by. Today at noon Eastern on CNN.
We go to the third inning. Braves on top. 2-0. Tony Pena, the catcher, will be at the plate for the Cardinals. Benedict just now getting back to home plate. He probably had some oxygen down there in the dugout. We go to the third inning with a play-by-play story. Here's Billy Sample.
Okay, thanks. It'll be Pena, De Leon, and Coleman, 8, 9, and 1 in Whitey Herzog's order. Mailer and De Leon locked up in a good pitcher's duel their last outing, the last game in St. Louis. Mailer had a lead when he left, but the Cardinals came back to win that game. Rick 7-7 against the Cardinals' lifetime. Pena, 31 years old, out of Monte Cristi in the Dominican Republic. He had a 3-run homer last night. It was a game winner against the Cincinnati Reds. Arguably had his best season in 1981, in which he had 301 with 15 homers and 70 RBIs. He takes a fastball low. We've seen in the last few games Rick go with his fastball a little more. Gets that one over for a strike. And could have been better. Should have had at least one more win. Hopper to third. Runge up. One away. This is the second game Runge has started, second consecutive game at third base. There was some question as to who would play third once Kent Oberkfeld was traded to the Pirates. And Runge, who hasn't a lot of playing time this season, a lot of at-bats coming off the bench, has been awarded the spot at least the last couple of days. De Leon pops the first pitch in the shallow center field. Gant goes out. Blocker comes in. Blocker will take charge. And quickly, 2 away in the Cardinal third. A different type of sky tonight. Possibly, as I saw Blocker and Gant exchanging after the ball. A little tough to pick up the ball for the infielders.
What's different about it? Looks like the same sky to me.
Starting to get a little cloudy. The wind usually blows from right to left here at Fulton County. It's blowing from left to right. Hurricane winds and rain coming from the east as Vince Coleman takes a pitch that Mailer wanted.
Hurricane rains coming here?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's the one that starts with the C. Vince fly to left his first time. Line down the left field line, base hit. James goes over to cut it off. Coleman doesn't round first hard. He was going to play that into a single. Dion got over. Actually, Dion playing him towards left field. Kept him at first base. So Coleman with good speed, obviously.
Billy, let me tell you something. I think you've got a great future as a sports announcer, but absolutely no chance as a meteorologist.
No, we're gonna discuss this about the clouds hitting together. That's actually
There's not going to be a hurricane in Atlanta tonight, I guarantee you.
Tornado.
I don't think we're going to have one of those either.
It's coming up the East Coast.
We're not on the East Coast.
Oh, we're close enough.
No, we're not.
We're one state away from South Carolina. The hurricane came up today from South Carolina and actually killed one person.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that, but it's not going to come here. There are no tornado warnings tonight.
Folks, when it rains in the 5th inning, I'm not on here. Everybody call the phones. 2-0 the count.
I don't know how to break this to you, but it can rain without a tornado.
No, but the winds will push the rains further west. Ozzie grounded to second his first time. We'll get back to the game. Coleman leads the National League in stolen bases. Looked like he was watching for a pitch out. Rick quickened his movement to the plate, but he threw a strike. 2-1 the count. Coleman 66, as you see there, out of 89. And Mailer, who holds runners on well.
Let's pull the truck. How many people think we're going to have a tornado tonight or a hurricane tonight, and how many don't?
No. I did not say we were going to have a tornado or a hurricane. I just said the winds were going to come and push the rains. Bunt down the third baseline. Mailer gives way to Runge, and everyone will give way to that one. As Ozzie has a bunt infield hit. Runners at first and second, 2 outs for Pedro Guerrero.
Perfect bunt, absolutely perfect. And he's off and running. He's out of the batter's box by the time the ball hits the ground. And Mailer and Runge have nothing to do but admire his proficiency.
Guerrero a double over the bag at third base his first time. Bounced away, and anytime the ball bounces that far with the Cardinals on the bases, that'll be scored a wild pitch.
Benedict did what he could, but he blocked it all right, but it rolled away far enough the way these guys run. He was a little late shifting, but got the chest protector in front of it, but it ricocheted away.
Guerrero, the National League Player of the Week. Misses that curveball. Count evens at 1.
Hurricane Chris, we are told by our research staff, is nearing the New York area and is affecting the weather up there. But it's a tropical storm. It's not even a hurricane. And you know, when research shows, that's the gospel, boy.
And his Player of the Week, Guerrero, that was named today from the 22nd to the 28th of August. Hit .429. He was 12 for 28. 3 RBIs, 5 runs scored. Tries to back him off with that fastball. 2 balls, 1 strike. I don't know what it is, Skip, but it's blowing our paper all over the place.
Might have some rain, but not a hurricane.
No, I said the hurricane would bring the rain. All right, the 2-1. Deep to left center field, but Blocker appears to be under. No, he's back. He's at the wall. He's running out of room. Home run, Guerrero. Once again, Guerrero hits a damaging blow against the Braves, particularly in Atlanta, as he hits his 6th home run and drives in runs 43, 44, and 45 as the Cardinals go up 3-2.
Looked like Blocker thought he had a play on the ball all the way, Billy, but it just kept carrying.
Those hurricane winds.
Not in a circular stadium. It was well out of the ballpark. The early lead is down the tubes.
Brunansky fly to right his first time. Sharply hit Thomas at short. And the Cardinals are out of the inning, but not before they score 3 runs on 3 hits. The principal one, Pedro Guerrero's 6th home run. And after 2.5, the Cardinals lead 3-2.
When he's working, when his work is done, a man wants a jean he can feel comfortable in. American Hero Jeans from Wrangler.
TNT. It's the power of positive programming.
Someone say TNT?
TNT coming this fall.
Celebrate sports, Superstation TBS.
That fall, exclusively on the Superstation, TBS Sports packs a double-barrel dose of high-caliber excitement live. The return of college football's top conference, the SEC. During the 80s, no conference has had more nationally ranked teams or made more bowl appearances than the Southeastern Conference. College football's top-ranked powers: Alabama, Auburn, Florida, Georgia, LSU, and Tennessee hit the field with a game-breaking plays. Touchdown! Then, let's go to the hoop for another slam-bang season of America's game, the NBA. TBS takes you front row for the hottest teams and all the magic of the NBA. The fall premiere is here, exclusively on
Superstation TBS.
It'll be the top of the order as the Braves play catch-up again. Again, James and Perry to face Jose De Leon, who's been staked to a 1-run lead. Ronnie walked and scored ahead of Deion James, doubled to left center field his first time. Ronnie came into the game with 72 runs scored. That ties him for 10th in the National League. As he takes that curveball inside. And of course, leading off, he has a greater chance of scoring runs, but Ronnie has also hit lower end of the order. Count evens at 1. The Cardinals lead the season series between these two ball clubs 6-3. And these 3 games, the final meeting of the 1988 season. The Cards won last season the series 9-3. The 1-1 high fastball. Did he hold his swing? Yes, he did, according to Charlie Williams, coaching at first, umpiring at first. The 2-1 that rides high and inside. 3-1 to count. Ronnie currently hitting .255, 15 homers, and 50 RBIs to go with those 73 runs scored. The 3-1 didn't mean to swing. Tried to kill one of our camera people.
Or U.S. Senator White Fowler, who's watching the game down in Ted Turner's box tonight.
There's Weiss. The payoff pitch. Ronnie didn't think so, but Paul Runge said it caught the corner right at the knees for De Leon, his 3rd strikeout, and that'll bring up Deion James.
Well, now we all get to umpire this pitch. Looked a little off the plate, but close enough. You got to hack.
You can't hack at it because you can't hit it. First pitch to James, high. Deion hit his 16th double in the first inning and drove in that 30th run batted in. That's what I used to like, coming back to the bench, and you'd ask, especially when I was younger, some veteran hitter, you knew that pitch was off the plate a couple of inches, and he'd say, well, it was too close to take. I'm thinking I couldn't have touched the ball. What do you mean it's too close to take?
Yeah, but you look so much better if you swing and miss.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Unless you're in the middle of a hurricane, in which case, take cover.
The 2-0. I guess it was high. A 3-ball count to James. Dion currently hitting at 268.
No clouds have bumped together yet tonight, so we're okay.
The Lightning hits... 3-1 the count. And the Lightning heats up the air so quickly, and it cools off so quickly that when those ions, positive and negative, bump together as Dion walks, that causes that thunder sensation.
I thought it was something like that.
Yeah. For De Leon, that's his second walk. 1 out for Gerald Perry. Gerald, as the Cardinals have a meeting at the mound.
If Flip Spiceland from CNN is listening, buy Billy lunch and talk to him, will you please? Flip's the talented but aging weather guru over there at CNN.
Gerald came into the game 1 point behind Tony Gwynn in the batting race. With that single right his first time up, his average is up 2 points. Actually, we're at the time of the season where you can get a hit and have your average only go up 1 point. Pena thinks about throwing, and he's got a gun. He's not afraid to show it off. Now Mike Rourke wants to have a word with De Leon. Perry waits. Murphy is on deck. The Braves have some fireworks not only on the field to show, but for Labor Day, September 5th, when the Dodgers are in town. Come out to the game, and there will be a fireworks display afterwards.
Ernie and I got into a big philosophical discussion about that, too. Do you call it Labor Day night, or do you call it Labor Night?
I don't know, but I don't know how many people would have thought about that except you and Ernie, and that just proves that we've worked too long this season.
I think you might be right. Take a day or two off or something.
As you see there, Dion 8 for 15. Gerald pops this one into foul territory. Pena and Pendleton went over near the fence, and yes, they will put it away as Pendleton puts it away just in front of the fence for out number 2. 2 outs, a runner on first for Dale Murphy as Dion James wants to make sure of the signs as he asked Roy Matika, coaching at first base. Possibly the Braves have changed their signs, as Ken Oberfeld being dealt to the Pirates would necessitate a change in the signs from third base coach Bobby Wine. Dale grounded into a double play his first time. He takes a curveball outside. 3-2 our score. The Cardinals scoring their 3 runs off the bat of Pedro Guerrero. The Braves opened the game scoring 2 in their half the first. Both clubs looking to win their second in a row. Didn't catch up with that fastball. Count evens at 1. If Dale should reach Andres Thomas, the on-deck batter. The 1-1 fastball high. The outfield plays Dale straight up and deep. And in spite of that low average, Dale is in the top 10 in walks and the top 5 in doubles with 31. The 2-1, that same fastball, high and away. Dale fails to catch up to it. Count evens at 2. And those 22 home runs puts him in a tie for 7th with Bonds, Van Slyke, and Murphy. Just gets a piece of that, and that also got a piece of plate umpire Paul Runge. Paul, the 15-year veteran. James at first, 2 outs. 2-2 to Murphy. Foul should be out of play, and it will reach deep into the seats. The Braves looking for victory number 46 against 85 defeats, while the Cardinals are looking for victory number 60 against 71 defeats. As Dale calls timeout, the Cardinals feel as though if they can get some momentum going to next season now that they have Guerrero and their average runs per game have increased. Did he go? Yes, he did, according to first base umpire Charlie Williams. And Murphy strikes out to end the inning. De Leon records his 4th strikeout. The Braves have a base runner via the walk in the 3rd, but fail to plate anyone. After 3 complete, Cardinals lead 3-2.
You sure he's coming? He'll be here. As long as I've known Tom. I need help, he's there. We're still shorthanded. Yep. Sure, I'm glad to see you.
Reckon you are.
Stay with you?
Figured you wouldn't mind.
And when the last stray's rounded up, you head for the mountains. Bush. And the beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream.
Well, sure owe you one.
How about this in here?
Head for the mountains of Bush beer.
Mom's magic meatloaf is weighing on you like a ton of bricks. Send for the bubbles of flavored Alka-Seltzer. Because speed is what you need to lift the heaviness off your stomach and relieve your heartburn and pounding headache fast. So for fast relief, let the bubbles rise to the occasion.
Alka-Seltzer to the rescue.
Try flavored Alka-Seltzer with the sparkling fresh taste of lemon lime.
It's a 3-2 Cardinal lead. We go to the top half of the 4th inning. Cardinals getting all their runs on the Pedro Guerrero home run. Pete Van Weren, Ernie Johnson joining you now. Rick Mailer trailing by 1 run. That's not unusual. The last month or so, it seems like every game Rick has pitched, he's been down by 1.
He hasn't got much help late either for a save.
Terry Pendleton has been struggling. He flied to center his first time up. He's now 1 for his last 19. Nothing in 2, the count on Pendleton.
I think there might have been 4 or 5 games that a save would have given Rick another win, but they weren't forthcoming.
Oh, we know from the last game that Bruce Sutter alone has blown 5 save opportunities for Mailer.
Bruce said it. He said, if I'd have done my job, Mailer has about 4 more wins.
Curve is ripped down the right field line, but foul. Count remaining a ball and 2 strikes on Terry Pendleton. And the slow curve is fouled back. It remains a ball and 2 strikes. Terry Pendleton has often worn that protective guard on his forearm.
He must have gotten hit there a couple of times.
It looks to me like it would be extremely uncomfortable to hit that way.
He must have gotten a couple of fastballs off that that right arm. That's why he wears it.
And he got him on the changeup. Mailer just floated that one up there, and he records his first strikeout.
Mailer can pull a string with the best of them, and you'll watch this slow curve. Good motion, never gets there. Finally does, and Pendleton misses it.
Now Jose Oquendo, who's got on in an unusual way his first time up. He was stepping out of the batter's box. Time was not called. He jumped back in and got an infield single.
Boy, that's got to go in a film. That's got to go in This Week in Baseball. That was funny. He's putting his arm up like a signaling for a fair catch. Then he jumps back in and still ends up with a hit.
2-0 the count now, and Jose Oquendo, Mr. Versatility on this Cardinal team. They hope sometime in September, in a game that has no meaning in the standings, to play him at all 9 positions in one game in St. Louis. He's thrown out this time by Ron Gant, 2 down. And Curt Ford will be the batter. Ford grounded into a 4-3 double play back in the second inning.
I used to do that in the minor leagues once in a while. Have a player who's very versatile, play all spots. You don't see it happen too often in the major league.
I can remember growing up in a minor league city, the last day of the season, if things were pretty much decided, they used to do all kinds of things. Pitchers would play the outfield, and outfielders would pitch. Players just have a lot of fun on a game that really didn't mean anything. 0-1 the count, and Curt Ford. Too many incentive clauses around these days, though.
Oh, yes.
Nobody wants to fool around too much, regardless of the situation.
Another 50 if I hit a home run playing right field.
And you want me to pitch?
Yes.
Here's the 1-1. Foul back 1-2. Boy, Ford waited on that changeup. Thought he had it timed, then just ticked it back to the screen. 2 men out. It's 3-2 St. Louis. We're in the 4th. And the 1-2. Scatters his teammates.
That was a good fastball. He couldn't check his swing, and he scattered his third base dugout.
Joe McGrain, the leader of the pack down there.
Yes, he's a big free spirit, Joe McGrain.
He will not pitch in this series. Greg Matthews goes tomorrow night, then Scott Terry for the Cardinals on Wednesday. Tried another fastball, missed high with it. 2-2.
They expected more from Curt Ford. Another guy they got in their minors without. Now, Jim Lindemann, they thought he was going to be up here helping them, too.
That's fouled away. Still 2-2. Another player along the lines of a Curt Ford that was in the Cardinal organization last year, Lance Johnson, traded to the Chicago White Sox. They plan to make a starter out of him this year. He wound up back in the minor leagues. He couldn't handle it over there after playing for a little over a month as the regular center fielder for Chicago. Strike 3 call. Another changeup caught the outside corner, and Mailer has his most effective inning of the evening. 2 strikeouts, 1, 2, 3 for the Cardinals. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 3-2 St. Louis.
Lon Davis loves what he does for Delta, and sometimes it loves him back.
Hi, boy. How you doing?
Dear Delta, please take care of Spooner. He's never been on a plane before.
No windows today, boy. How about an aisle seat?
Spooner! Spooner!
Dear Brian, I thought Spooner would like his wings.
Hey, Spooner, you got your wings.
And it shows.
This Harbeck kid looks good to me, Bob.
Now he's the darling of the fans this year. Look at that fluid motion towards the Ricoh laser printer.
And watch this move coming up on that Ricoh copier.
Yes, remember, he was all swivel chair in college.
He does know his office equipment.
His teammates call him Mr. Copier. There's why.
Hold on, Bob. He's attempting to fax one document to 3 cities.
Whoa, wait a second. There's a 360 and another. What a show!
I'm looking for a perfect score on this, Bob.
That'll endear him to the fans forever. Oh, that's going to cost him.
Judges. Well, the scores aren't too bad. Maybe I'll Ricoh this year.
We have been fascinated from the beginning. As a machine, the human body remains a supreme invention. To unlock its potential, we offer Soloflex. Simple and efficient, like the body itself. Which may explain why Soloflex looks less like a machine and more like a work of art.
tonight. Cary Grant has one eye on the war and one eye on the ladies. Father Goose, 10:20 Eastern on the Superstation tonight.
As we go to the bottom of the fourth inning, you look inside the Braves dugout and see a familiar face returning, Jeff Blauser, who was recalled from Richmond to take the roster spot of the recently traded Ken Oberkfell. I asked Russ Nixon tonight how he intends to use Jeff, and he said he'll play. He said he won't play as an everyday player at any one position, but he's going to play a little second, a little short, a little third, pinch hit. And Andres Thomas will lead off here in the bottom of the fourth. Thomas struck out in the first inning. Braves trailing 3-2. Takes a curveball, strike, 0-1. Braves Greenville affiliate won the first game of a doubleheader tonight, 6-3 over Charlotte. A guy we haven't talked much about this year, but is having a great year for Greenville. Kevin Blankenship wins another game down there. Blooped into shallow left. That may fall and will for a base hit for Andres Thomas. That's the fourth Atlanta hit. It'll bring up Paul Runge, but Blankenship won that game. He's now 13-9 for Greenville. He had a 2.31 earned run average going in.
And a great ratio of hits to innings pitched. Something like, maybe 30 fewer hits than innings pitched.
So add the name of Kevin Blankenship to the list of promising youngsters in the Braves farm system. Many of them pitchers. Runge grounded out to short his first time up. De Leon starts him out with the changeup, 0-1.
You might say, well, you're getting too many good young pitchers. Well, if you've got good players, whether they're pitchers or infielders, there's always a chance for trade, a key trade, because someone likes one of your young players.
The look over and the pitch, low and away for a ball. If you look at the Dodgers and the Mets, teams that have traditionally been strong in their farm systems, that's what they've done.
Yeah.
The Mets just keep developing pitcher after pitcher after pitcher, and they trade some away for help at other positions. Houston rebuilt their ball club, trading away surplus players. Here's the 1-1. Good fastball. 1-2 to Runge.
This guy can throw hard. He's got a good split finger fastball. One of the leaders in strikeouts. Jose De Leon lost 19 one year with the Pirates. I don't know how, but he did.
Only Nolan Ryan has more strikeouts in the National League right now than Jose De Leon. Ryan's at 185. De Leon at 162. Runner started on the 1-2 pitch. They throw back to first, and a good throw, if it had been on the money, might have had Andres Thomas there. Runge called out on strikes. 5th strikeout for De Leon.
This was a breaking ball. You could see Thomas look like he was going, and Runge missed it, and the throw does not get Thomas.
So 1 away now with Thomas at first, and Bruce Benedict will step in. He's singled to center back in the second. Looped into right center field. On the run is Brunansky, and he makes a fine play out there. Brunansky taking an extra base hit away from Bruce Benedict. Out number 2.
Give old Tom a blue star on this catch. He's a big guy, but he runs pretty well. Brunansky, thankful that it's regular grass, makes a nice one-hand catch. Another look at it.
So with 2 outs, Terry Blockert made a fine catch of his own early in the game. He was called out for interfering with catcher Tony Pena on a throw down to second his first time up. 0-1 the count on Blocker. 2 outs. Braves trailing 3-2 are in the bottom of the fourth. That That one gets away from Pena. Down to second goes Andres Thomas. Pena might have been crossed up on that pitch.
Let's see if the ball hits the ground. I think he should have caught it. The official scorer says, I don't agree with you. Wild pitch. Foot off the ground. I don't care what side it is. I think the catcher, if it doesn't hit the batter, didn't hit him, he should catch it.
So it's now 1-1 on Blocker with Thomas at second and 2 outs. And a good block that time by Tony Pena. 2-1. De Leon was hit quite hard in the first inning. He has settled down as the game has gone on. Gave up both the Atlanta runs in the first inning. Breaking ball is grounded foul down the first baseline. 2-2. Even the double play ball that Murphy hit in the first inning was hit hard. Two balls and 2 strikes on Terry Blocker with Thomas at second. And the 2-2 coming. Just got a piece of it. Stays alive with a 2-2 count. Pitcher Rick Mailer waits on deck. Cardinals on top by 1. You see the totals there. Braves have a potential tying run down at second with 2 outs. Right to the second baseman, Oquendo. And that takes care of the Braves in the 4th. So the base hit does not hurt. The runner is stranded at second. We go to inning 5. Still 3-2 St. Louis.
Belongs to Michelob.
Got a big hot healthy thirst for Gatorade.
Speeding in fluids and minerals.
Want my whole hot body wet with Gatorade.
Supplying energy to working muscles.
No, there's nothing better when I sweat. I just got to get Gatorade.
When you're hot, nothing's better.
Gatorade is thirsty. Ooh, I got to get all that deep down body thirst.
To unlock your body's potential, we proudly offer Soloflex. 24 old-fashioned iron-pumping exercises, each correct in form and balance. All on the simple machine that fits in the corner of your home. For a free brochure, call anytime.
Willie McGee and the fast and powerful Redbirds soar into Atlanta. Braves versus Cardinals, live, 7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
On Friday night, following the Pirates-Braves game, join Craig Sager and Craig Masbach for the IAAF Grand Prix Final from West Berlin, Germany.
We go to the top half of inning 5. Cardinals leading at 3-2. Tony Pena, Jose De Leon, Vince Coleman due up against Rick Mailer. You see Eddie Casco in the glasses there. Cal Irmer from the Minnesota Twins in the gray hair. A lot of rumors that both may be here looking at Rick Mailer. With 3 days to go before teams have to freeze their rosters for postseason play. Pena fouls one away. In other words, if you're going to use a player in the playoffs or in the World Series, he has to be on your roster by September 1st.
And even if they didn't decide to sign anyone before then, Pete, they could still scout them in September and wait to sign people that are going to be free agents like Rick Mailer for next year.
Pena for one. He grounded out to third his first time. He slaps the fastball foul off to the right. 0-2 the count.
That's where I'd pitch Pena. He's got a slightly open stance, and he really doesn't step into the ball as much as he steps a little bit toward third, as they say, steps in the bucket. And so he gives you a little room on that outside corner, and Mailer's trying to pitch him out there. Make him pull the ball, because he looks like he's geared to hit a ball from the middle of the plate in.
1-2 now the count.
A lot of batters will step right at Mailer in this spot, but he stepped a little bit toward third. See?
High in the air to left field, Deion James waits and takes it for out number one. So Mailer's now retired 5 in a row. And Jose De Leon will be the batter. De Leon fly to center his first time up. Fouled away, 0-1. De Leon was the player that came over from the White Sox when the Cardinals sent Lance Johnson and pitcher Ricky Horton to Chicago. Whitey Herzog having one of his rare losing seasons as a major league manager.
Pete, speaking of pitchers being dealt to other ball clubs, LaPointe is pitching for the Pirates again tonight, and he could go 3-0. They're winning easily over the Reds early.
Up the middle, De Leon has himself a base hit. He had a pretty good pitch there. Breaking ball that was down and away. And there's hit number 6 for St. Louis. Now Vince Coleman, who has flied to left and singled. De Leon not being held. Coleman tried to get a bunt down and missed it. 0-1. He's not squaring this time, and the count quickly 0-2 on Vince Coleman. Coleman, a little guy with not a lot of power. All the Cardinals want him to do is make contact and use his speed, and for that reason he uses a very big bat. Big barreled bat, long bat. Just tries to reach out and make contact. Hit the ball on the ground or a line drive somewhere. Just got a piece of that one.
Pete, we have a fan who turned 100 today and hopes she's still up. She lives in Decatur, Georgia. Etta Bart is 100 years old today. She retired at age 90 from her florist business. 6 daughters, 1 son, 20 grandchildren, 32 great-grandchildren, and 7 great-great-grandchildren. She's out partying tonight.
Happy birthday.
Etta Bart. Happy birthday.
Here's the 0-2. Tap toward third. Runge going to second. I don't think they'll be able to turn it on Coleman. They will not. Very rare that you'll see Vince Coleman ground into a double play. In order for Vince Coleman to hit into a double play, it almost has to be one of those line drives that's played on a short hop, preferably off turf. He is one of the quickest in the league, in baseball for that matter, getting from the batter's box down to first. So 2 men are out with Coleman aboard. Ozzie Smith, the batter. He's grounded to second and had an infield single, a bunt single. Coleman always dangerous at first. 66 stolen bases, leads the National League. He still feels he has a shot at 100 this year, but it's going to be tough. He'd have to average a little better than 1 stolen base per game the rest of the way to make it. He was bluffing on that curveball that missed. 2-0.
He'd much rather try it on artificial turf, too. It's a lot of difference running on regular dirt
He was quoted over the weekend as saying the days of the 100 stolen base per year man are probably over in baseball because of the new enforcement, stricter enforcement of the balk rule. The concentration pitchers are showing now on holding runners. He's trying it on this one. There's a ground ball hit by Ozzie Smith. Gant runs it down in shallow right and throws him out. Good play by Ron Gant. And that's all for the Cardinals in the 5th inning. They get a base hit. They leave one runner. We go to the bottom half of inning 5. Still 3-2 St. Louis.
A surgeon's hours are long and hard, full of challenge, full of reward. Today's Air Force Reserve offers you a way to heighten that experience. You'll start as a high-ranking officer, and for a minimal investment of time, you'll serve your country, doing what you do best, in a whole new way. Expand your profession. Be a surgeon in today's Air Force Reserve. It's a great way to serve.
27 years old, and his company was just purchased for $10 million. 34, and she was just made vice president of a well-known bank. 45 and sailing the Pacific for a year. You may wonder how these people do it, but they're just like you and me, sharing the same desire for success. And while there's no one formula for success, there is one magazine with information to improve your portfolio, your career, your lifestyle. With your paid subscription to Fortune, receive this investor's guide, plus this free Fortune Facts with calculator, calendar, and business planner, which is being used by this 47-year-old president of a successful medical company. Call 1-800-289-5757. Get 17 issues at almost 50% off the cover price, payable in 3 installments of just $9.97 each. That's something even highly successful people can't turn away from. 1-800-289-5757.
Tonight, Cary Grant has one eye on the war and one eye on the ladies. Father Goose, 10:20 Eastern on the Superstation tonight.
All right, Jeffries, a youngster just called up from the farm system by the Mets, is homered in that ball game. They're still batting in the bottom of the 3rd, leading 3-0 at Pittsburgh, with LaPointe pitching, winning easily in the 4th. San Diego, or I should say, the Dodgers 1-0 over Montreal. That's a home run by Stubbs. The Phillies leading 1-0, and Chicago and Houston scoreless in the 1st. We'll do the American League later.
Here's Rick Mailer leading off the bottom of the 5th. He struck out his first time. One of 5 strikeouts recorded by Jose De Leon, who leads at 3-2. Right to the 3rd baseman, Pendleton. 1 pitch, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And we'll go back to the top of the order now. Ron Gant, who walked in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd. One combination we may see in the infield a couple of times before the season is over is Ron Gant playing 3rd base with Jeff Blauser at 2nd. That combination may be tried a few times. As with the number of young second basemen that appear likely to be contending at least for a spot next year, a lot of talk about moving Ron Gant to another position. There's a called strike.
If you can hit, they'll find a spot for you.
You've got Jeff Blauser. You've got Ed Alicea, who had a good first year and made in professional baseball at Richmond. And you've got Mark Lemke, who's having a fine year at Greenville. And here you've got out number 2, as Pendleton takes care of Ron Gant's pop-up. 2 down. Now Deion James, who doubled in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd. Braves trailing by a run. De Leon has set down 5 in a row. And misses outside with a fastball, ball 1. Breaking ball for a strike. De Leon giving the Cardinals exactly what they were hoping for this year. He was not counted on to be the number 1 starter. They were hoping that Well, they had John Tudor, and they were hoping that Joe McGrain and Greg Matthews and Danny Cox, along with De Leon, that was going to be their starting rotation. And then all of a sudden, everybody started getting hurt. Danny Cox still not back. Matthews has only been back for a short time. McGrain was out for a time. Grounded toward third. And a very easy inning for De Leon. Braves go 1, 2, 3 in the bottom half of the fifth. We go to inning 6. No change in our score. Still 3-2 Cardinals.
This man is twice as strong as this man. Tom's EX is twice as strong as Rolaids. So when you have heartburn, get the extra strength and acid. Tom's EX, twice as strong as Rolaids.
Steel. Muscle. It takes one to perfect the other. And nobody knows that better than Soloflex. Before you take your Soloflex through its workout stations, we put it through some of our own. We start with raw materials. Use force and resistance, knowledge and skill, effort and technique to create a strong, balanced, and functional work of art. All of which goes to show the way we build Soloflex is a lot like the way you use it. For a free brochure, call anytime.
Speeding in fluids and minerals, supplying energy to working muscles. Nothing cuts through your thirst like Gatorade.
Willie McGee and the fast and powerful Redbirds soar into Atlanta. Braves versus Cardinals, live, 7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
Not a whole lot to report yet in the American League. Detroit-Chicago just underway. That's Tanana against Long. Cleveland got 3 in the top of the first at Kansas City. Toronto-Milwaukee no score in the first. Minnesota-Texas no score in the first. The other games all on the West Coast. The Yankees at Seattle. Boston a game behind Detroit playing at Oakland. And Baltimore is at California. We go to the 6th inning. Cardinals leading at 3-2. Pedro Guerrero leads off in the 6th. To tell you about it, here's Ernie.
Guerrero has been tough. Thank you, Pete. He has hit safely now in 8 straight games. He has a double and a home run in this game and 3 RBIs, and that is the difference on that 3-run homer. And the pitch is swung on and missed. Lenny Dykstra of the New York Mets was ejected in the 2nd inning by home plate umpire Jim Quick at New York. So Dykstra gets an early shower. It is 3-0 New York. Here it is 3-2 St. Louis. They try to win the 7th game of the year between these two clubs. A little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul Runge calling the balls and strikes. He only umpire to make 2 calls on a strike, and we appreciate it. The first one's kind of for the broadcasters. Then he does another one for the fans, I think. Fouled away. He throws out his arm quickly if it's a strike, and then he'll stand and give it a more deliberate call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Feels like it might rain. There is a chance. And a chance of rain tomorrow. Nobody out. Didn't mean to. Gant grabs it. A check swing, and Ronnie Gant made the catch in short right. 1 down. Now Tom Brunensky, who's flying to right and grounded out. He has 19 homers with St. Louis, 20 total for the year. He hit 1 with the Twins before they dealt him. Toward Runge and past Runge in the left field. Runge backing up, played it off the side, and it got through. He tried to play that last bounce, and it cost him.
And you can see trouble beginning on a play like this as soon as an infielder starts backing up on the ball. If he had come up with it cleanly, he would have had to make an off-balance, strong throw onto first to get Brunansky, who, as Ernie mentioned earlier, for a guy his size, runs pretty well. It's going to be a base hit.
Now Pendleton. The hit decision was booed. Down low. A lot of Cardinal fans here, as there were a lot of Cub fans over the weekend. Slim pickings, very small crowd. Pendleton, who's had hamstring problems this year at the plate. We've talked about Brunansky, the way he holds the bat way out over the plate and his arms really back. You hit the way that's comfortable for you. Pendleton, just the opposite. He keeps the bat in close. His hands are under his chin. Everyone has their own style. Most batting instructors don't try to really make any big changes. Runner is going, and the throw is going to be out of there. Nice throw, Benedict. Caught stealing. 2-4. Benedict, who's thrown out over 30%, up around 33 to 34, gets Brunansky.
Brunansky's only been caught 3 times prior to this one. Benedict took a low pitch, got out of the chute fast, a strike to second baseman Ron Gant. The tag applied. He has now thrown out 25 men trying to steal this year.
Pitch is fouled away, and Brunansky, before that, had stolen 14 bases, had been caught only 3 times. He doesn't look like he runs that well, but he's an intelligent runner. But that particular time, Benedict nailed him. So he's 14-4. 2-2 is the count. Too tight. Locker made a nice catch on Pendleton back in the 2nd inning. Banged into the wall in deep center field. In the 4th inning, Pendleton struck out. Driven to right center field. Blocker back. He's going to catch it, I believe, and he will. At the track. That'll do it for St. Louis. We move to the bottom of the 6th.
Now, a revolution in blade shaving from Remington, the new Lady Remington Electro Blade, vibrating blade system. Electro Blade's high-speed motor and vibrating twin blades gently shear for the closest, smoothest, most comfortable blade shave. Electro Blade glides so easily, you'll get less drag, less pull, and less irritation. Safe, immersible, and cordless. The new Lady Remington Electro Blade, vibrating blade system. Precision technology from Remington.
He was actually courteous?
Yes.
But he was a car salesman.
He was a Toyota salesman.
It's important to you.
John.
It's important to us. Common courtesy. Just one aspect of the Toyota touch.
Classic movies, original programming, and special events. That's what TNT is all about.
Someone say TNT?
TNT, coming this fall.
Celebrate, celebrate, Superstation TBS. We got your movies, comedies, and action. Something special for you. Getting on the good times, America's greatest. Celebrating TBS. What TBS? Celebrate the Superstation. Celebrate, celebrate, Superstation TBS. Celebrate.
Well, if you've ever wondered what it might be like to pitch to Hank Aaron and try to hit against Phil Niekro, you can find out. Hank Aaron, Luke Appling, Warren Spahn, Phil Niekro, and many other former Braves at the 2nd Annual Braves Fantasy Camp, January 22nd through 29th in West Palm Beach, Florida. For more information, call 404-522-6611 for a free brochure.
Gerald Perry leads off the bottom of the 6th. And the pitch is high. And don't forget our fireworks display on Labor Day night here. The Dodgers in town. Fireworks courtesy Goodyear. And the pitch. There's a strike call. 1 ball and strike. Perry knocked in a run first time up. Pops this one up on his 3rd try. Somebody's going to have to make a catch. And nobody makes a catch, and the ball is foul. Ozzie Smith tried to basket catch that ball down there on the foul line. But fortunately for St. Louis, the ball was about a foot foul.
Very rare that you can say this. Ozzie Smith unable to make the play. He got over there okay. In fact, he ran a little bit too far under the ball. But it's very unusual to see Ozzie Smith get to a ball and not be able to come up with it.
Perry slowly back. Murphy's on deck. And our Fan Appreciation Day is September 24th when the Braves play the Reds at 7:40. And we'll call it Fan Appreciation Night this year because the game is a night game. Saturday, September 24th, Fan Appreciation Night. We've got a truck full of gifts. And there's a ball outside. Three to 2 Cardinals. Look out by Roy Matika. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Same time tomorrow night, Herman Jimenez will pitch against Greg Matthews. Airtime is 7:35 for TV. De Leon taking a little extra time. Check swing foul. Red Sox are only a game back of Detroit. New York 5.5 back. The Mets usually get out in front by 7 or so, then fall back to 3 or 4. They're back to 6.5 now, but they're winning tonight. So are the Pirates. Over third, and it's going to be extra bases. Perry's at first, and he's got 2 for sure, and the tying run is perched at second. A double by Gerald Perry, who came in second place in the National League in hitting. Murphy's next, and then Thomas.
19th double of the year for Perry, and this is something Gerald's always done well, go the opposite way. That was a fastball up, tailing away from him. What's made him a better hitter this year is that he's now able to pull and turn on the inside pitches and get some base hits to right and right center, something he didn't do that much of in previous years.
Murphy, the batter, he hit into a double play in the first and struck out in the third. Atlanta with an excellent chance to tie this ball game. Nobody out. The outfield shading Murphy toward right. A big hole in left center field. The first pitch. Strike. Outside corner. 0-1. You can see how they're shifted to the right, and a big hole in left center field. A lot of that's because De Leon throws hard. They don't feel he'll pull him that often. There's a bounce at a third. It's going to be fielded by Pendleton. Long throw got him. Harry Pendleton got off his feet to throw out Murphy. Holding at second is Perry. Now Thomas.
It's a run-saving play by Terry Pendleton, because where Ford was playing in left center field, if that ball gets over Pendleton's head, it's a double. It would have gone right down the left field line. And a run would have scored easily.
You could see Pendleton, while he was in the air, grabbing the ball, then looking at Perry at second base to see what he was going to do, and then went on to first. Now Thomas, with 1 out, pops it up along the line and left. A long run for Ford, and he's going to not make the play. It's foul. A great effort by Kurt Ford. You know, Pete, it appeared that he was still in the same spot as he was for Murphy, way over.
Yes, he was. He was way over in left center field, had a long run, makes a diving try in foul territory. He just missed that ball, hit right above his glove, hit him on the inside of the wrist. So the Braves have gotten a couple of breaks here in this inning. Ozzie Smith almost made a catch in foul territory. Kurt Ford almost made a catch in foul territory.
Perry's at second base. Thomas, who has struck out and singled at the plate. No balls in the strike. Runge on deck. And De Leon to Thomas, who swings and fouls it back out of play. 0-2. The Pirates are in town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then next Monday and Tuesday, Tommy Lasorda brings his crowd in. Lasorda should be congratulated, and we congratulate him. I believe it was Saturday he won his 1,000th game as a manager in the major leagues. He was the 38th manager to accomplish that feat. 1,000 wins. No balls, 2 strikes. Fly ball left. Ford with no problem. Makes the play. And now it takes a 2-out hit from Runge. Perry doubled, then Murphy grounded out, and Thomas flied to left. Runge is grounded out and struck out. Benedict on deck. The Tigers are hurting a little bit. Jeff Robinson, one of their best pitchers, went on a disabled list.
They called up Steve Searcy from the International League. He was leading that league in strikeouts. He's going to take his place for the time being.
Pitch to Runge. A curve that hung inside. 1-0. The Braves have been out hit 7-5. They trail by a run. Still anybody's game. Bottom of the 6th. Breaking ball called a strike. Not once, but twice by Mr. Runge. 1 ball, 1 strike. Paul Runge batting and Paul Runge umping. They are not kin. Look at that stat. June and July, a lot better production. With runners in scoring position. Curve outside. Cardinals also with a disappointing year. They're in 5th place, 59-71. They won the division last year. Inside. And they lost in the World Series. Whitey Herzog, one of the outstanding managers in this game, and voted that by his peers. 3-1. Fast strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Two outs, a tying run at second. Gerald Perry. And the payoff pitch. Got him. Fastball strikeout of Runge. And the Braves miss a scoring chance. We go to the 7th inning. 3-2 St. Louis.
Nature has a way of saying enough is enough. It's called nightfall. Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob?
Speeding in fluids and minerals, supplying energy to working muscles. Nothing cuts through your thirst like Gatorade.
I'm mad as heck, and I just can't take it anymore.
Stop. Now there's a way to release all of that anger and frustration. Call Phone Confessions now at 1-900-909-6060. We can take it.
You've tried to write down your feelings, but the words don't come out. Call Phone Confessions now and apologize once and for all.
Call now at 1-900-909-6060 and leave your own phone confession or just listen in. You won't believe your ears.
Tuesday, 2 men caught up in the Mexican Revolution. One a man of honor, the other of greed.
You got a soft spot for an innocent man?
No such thing as an innocent man.
Fighting for a cause and fighting each other. Gary Cooper, Burt Lancaster, Vera Cruz. 10:20 Eastern on the Superstation Tuesday. Wednesday, a young boy adopted by Indians masters their skills
Savages speak their insults to a man's face.
and triumphs over their weaknesses.
Is it the pigment of a man's skin which makes him a Miniconjo? A member of the mighty Sioux?
Charlton Heston is the Savage. 10:20 Eastern on the Superstation Wednesday.
We're going to the 7th inning. Skip Carey and Pete Van Weeren and Ernie Johnson and Billy Sample are your broadcasters. How do I recover from that? Pretty well?
And
No.
at least two of us are in here.
Yes, and two of us are in here. Here's Oquendo. Infield hitting the ground out. And Killer's in here. And down in the truck we have, look at this stance from 1892. Curveball in there. Ford to follow, then Pena. This is the bottom third, practically, of their order. Swinging, fouling, 0-2. The bottom quarter of the order. Have I got you so far?
Let's get this inning started over.
31 to go after the day. And the 0-2 pitch. That is a strikeout on a fastball. Oquendo, who doesn't strike out often, is called out here. And Mailer has recorded his third.
Well, that pitch was up a little bit and looked like it was inside, but it did back up toward the inside corner.
Ford hits it foul down past first. Ford is hit into a double play and struck out. Pena on deck. Fouled away. Who was it? Was it you or was it Pete that on an open set along with?
That was me. I said, hello again, everybody, along with Skip Carey. This is... And it was a live open. I said, oh, my God, I don't even know my own name.
Little pop. Gant should catch it. Or Thomas. It's going to be Gant behind second. Well, Mailer's pitching well. If the Braves could just get him a run, he's trailing by one. Now Tony Pena. We want to say hi to Mickey Livingston out in Bisbee, Arizona. His dad, also Mickey Livingston, here tonight, an old minor league pal of mine. The attendance, 6,668.
A gaggle of people here at the ballpark.
Mailer's first pitch to Tony Pena is a strike on the outside. 0-1. De Leon is on deck. Make it 2 strikes. Tony didn't like that last call. Pirates still leading Cincinnati 6-1 in the 7th. That Dave LaPointe has been something else. He could be 3-0 in 3 starts since they got him from the White Sox. That is to Perry, and that is to Mailer, and that is it for St. Louis. We go to the bottom of the 7th. The Braves are down by 1.
Hey, come on. Can't you do that later?
Hey, I've always dreamt of owning a car like this, and I'm keeping it forever.
To some, it's an antique. To others, it's a dear old friend. If you truly love your car and want to make the romance last forever, protect it with Pure Later filters.
Now, when's that Tour de France thing?
Do you feel lonely tonight?
Looking to meet new friends to talk with?
Call 1-900-909-2222 and listen.
As the man or woman that you desire, introduce and describe themselves.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I have
I'm 6'1", dark hair, blue eyes.
With selective introductions, you make the choice or leave your own introduction and receive calls from those interested in you.
Meet a new friend. You make the choice.
Call 1-900-909-2222. $2 for the first minute, 35 cents for the additional minute.
Willie McGee and the fast and powerful Redbirds soar into Atlanta. Braves versus Cardinals, live, 7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Benedict will lead it off, then a Terry Blocker, and we'll see if there's a pinch hitter. Jose's loosening up, so Mailer might be through for the night. Unless someone hits one out of the ballpark and ties it. Mailer, who has pitched another good ball game, right now has nothing to show for it, except a possible L. Well, let's see if the Braves can pick up one. They had a chance last inning after Perry doubled, but he was stranded. He doubled as a leadoff batter. Benedict, who's played in twice as many games this year as last, had a base hit first time up, and he was robbed of a hit by Brunansky in the 4th. Skip Carey and Ernie Johnson with him.
Nice work.
Got it right. Pitch is inside.
I don't know why I'm on you. I can't even pronounce the name of the Philadelphia Phillies third baseman, and he's headed for the Hall of Fame.
You came close.
I left out one.
1-0.
Couple of letters.
You didn't do that. That was a couple of years ago.
Last year.
Last year. High pop foul. Out of play. Did you, Ollie, thank Herb Cain for the nice words about us in the San Francisco
No, but
Chronicle?
we should. That was a big thrill because we're big fans of his.
Yeah. Herb Cain gave us a few kind words back early in the month. And I'm sure they're very accurate because he and I are from the same
era.
Same era, right. That means over 60. Somewhat. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball and a good one. Benedict's out of there. That is strikeout number 7 for De Leon.
How can this guy be something like 32 and 55 coming into this year? He's got such great stuff. He had that 2-19 year with the Pirates. He's only had 1 winning season. That was his rookie year. He was 7-3.
Shooting for his 9th here as a Cardinal. Their top winner right now is Bob Forsch, who has trouble getting a contract every year, and he ends up being one of their best pitchers.
He's been with them 15 years. It's sort of like Walter Alston. The other thing that's amazing about De Leon, this is his 3rd major league team. He started with the Pirates, then the White Sox, now the Cardinals. With an arm like that, you wouldn't think he'd be traded so often.
Blocker is the batter. He is 0 for 2. Called out for interference the first time up. He got in the way of Pena trying to throw out Benedict. Good fastball. 0-2. Rick Mailer is out on deck, but he's not going to bat unless Blocker hits one out of here. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a single to center field. Mailer is going to bat. Well, he's going to let him stay in there. And he'll be in there to bunt, I would think. And sitting down is Jose Alvarez. He had been warming up. Pendleton a little shallow at 3rd. 1 out. The bunt is a strong possibility to get that tying run to second for Gann. Slider outside. 1-0. Walker's got pretty good speed. He's off first base. The bunt is foul up by first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Very familiar figure. Larry McWilliams starts to loosen up. He has not put on a pound, I'll tell you that.
Thanks, sir.
Tall, slender lefty. Did he lay off? I believe he did. 2 balls and a strike.
Would they gamble here and hit and run, show the bunt, and then swing away?
We will know in a moment. They don't like pitchers to swing away in certain spots. They always hit into a double play. Not always, but frequently. That's a good bunt. Guerrero to Oquendo covering, and the tying runs at second for Ron Gann. 3-4 on the sacrifice. Gann is walked, struck out, and popped to third. He got into it with Goose Gossage yesterday. He missed a home run by a couple of feet. Gossage drilled him. During the game, they were exchanged a few pleasantries, and Gann said, boy, that's pretty weak. Gossage not having a good year, and he said hitting a kid who has never gotten a base hit off him. Gossage said something along the lines, more or less, if you can't stand the heat, don't go in the kitchen, and you can't take it, don't play in the major leagues. But Nixon said he hoped Gossage would be back next year. Strike on the outside corner. You didn't gain much respect in the, going back to the old 50s. In the 50s, if you deck somebody, hit somebody, drill somebody, whatever you want to call it, knock somebody down, but then you didn't have to bat anymore in the game. If you floored somebody and you were going to come to the plate as a batter later, people understood that. Yesterday, Gossage knew that he was not going to come to the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a curveball on the outside corner. The tying runs at second, but 2 outs. Mike Shannon, who broadcast for the Cardinals and played for the Cardinals, very fine player, was over in the booth before the game, and we were just talking about all kinds of situations, knockdown pitches. There's a swing and a miss. Gann is out of there, and he breaks the bat, and the Braves are out of there trailing as we go to the 8th inning.
When he's working, when his work is done, a man wants a jean he can feel comfortable in. American Hero Jeans from Wrangler.
This Harbeck kid looks good to me, Bob.
Now he's the darling of the fans this year. Look at that fluid motion towards the Ricoh laser printer.
And watch this move coming up on that Ricoh copier.
Yes, remember, he was all swivel chair in college.
He does know his office equipment.
His teammates call him Mr. Copier. There's why.
Hold on, Bob. He's attempting to fax 1 document to 3 cities. Whoa!
Whoa, wait a second. There's a 360 and another. What a show!
I'm looking for a perfect score on this,
That'll
Bob.
endear him to the fans forever. Oh, that's going to cost him.
Judges. Well, the scores aren't too bad. Maybe I'll Ricoh this year.
Okay, Hernandez has joined Jeffries hitting a home run. New York leading San Diego 4-0. Pittsburgh still ahead of Cincinnati by a score of 6-1. That's LaPointe. And Montreal tied the Dodgers 1-1. Stubbs a home run for Los Angeles. Philadelphia leading by...
A little broken bat tap to the mound. I don't know if it was in the air or not. I guess not. 1 out. Richmond 4 runs on 6 hits. Toledo 2 runs on 11 hits. Jeff Weatherby hit his 5th for Richmond. Top of the order, Vince Coleman is the batter, and he's 1 for 3. In case you missed it earlier, Zane Smith will undergo arthroscopic surgery on his left elbow on Thursday over in Birmingham. Dr. Andrews will perform it. And they say that the chips are in the... There's no good place to have chips, but as long as you have them, they're in the best spot in the elbow as far as getting them out of there without trouble. So the prognosis is very good. Get him back, if you can, to the 15-game winner of last year, and things would be looking up. A ball and a strike to Coleman.
Skip, you wonder how many pitchers' careers would have been saved if they had that kind of surgery years back.
Oh, what about the Tommy John thing where they replaced the tendon? That's just amazing. Thomas throws out Coleman, 2 down.
I think they might have, in years past, they used the expression, he threw his arm out. It might have been a rotator cuff. They didn't know how to handle it. And they just said, that's it, your career is over.
Your career was ended by arm trouble, wasn't it?
Yes, I had a bad elbow and just never had any surgery, but
maybe if today you could have.
Maybe. Constantly had to have fluid drained from it and get cortisone shots.
Rick Mailer's 90th pitch of the night is a strike over the inside corner. Thomas has another chance, and Mailer records another very easy inning. Nothing doing in the 8th. Go to the bottom half. The Cardinals 3, the Braves 2.
It's back. It's going, gone. That's out of here.
This and every sunset is brought to you by Michelob, proud sponsors of night games everywhere. Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob?
When lunch and a day at the park are too much for Tommy Lasorda, he reaches for Rolaids. Nothing works better for acid indigestion. And why should heartburn take the fun out of the game? Relief. You know how to spell it.
I want a man with a slow hand.
New Schick Ultrex Plus. The only pivoting razor with a comfort strip and 1-push cleaning.
I want a slow hand.
Ultrex Plus to shave you smoother than ever.
Excuse me, Mr. Palmer, about this Arnie's Caddy giveaway. Pennzoil's giving away 50 new 89 Cadillac sedan DeVilles. I just mail in entry forms from Quality Pennzoil? Wow. 50?
Arnie's Caddy giveaway. Enter today.
You know, there are a lot of places where you can look for an auto part. But here's where you'll find it. Napa has parts for imports and other hard-to-find parts. So come to Napa first. We've got your part.
Americans buy lots of imported cars. Isn't it nice to know that Napa has the parts right here when you need them? Don't miss the boat on parts for imports. Come to Napa.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you in part by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Father Goose follows the game on TBS, and John Costello is in the bullpen for the Cardinals. May be a trade someday, that kid Abbott with the Angels.
Yep.
They could start a doubleheader. Abbott and Costello would be the pitchers for whatever team they wound up. Charlie Palaio is in the Atlanta bullpen, and Deion James leads off the bottom of the 8th. Braves could use a bit of a rally. James, Perry, and Murphy will hit here. Breaking ball high and away. Deion doubled home a run in the first. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. He has also scored a run. 2-0. Nobody on or out. Bottom half of the 8th inning. High, 3 balls, no strikes. A walk would suit the Braves just fine here. And the 3-0 pitch. That's right through there. Fastball, 3-1. De Leon has 8 strikeouts tonight. Ronnie Gant has joined Dale Murphy with 100 or more strikeouts on the year. And James is aboard to start the 8th. A good start. 3rd walk for De Leon.
Now what do you do? Gerald Perry, he's been hot. You ask him to bunt, take the bat away from him, or let him swing. I think you'll let him swing. Left-handed batter.
I would guess so, too, especially the way Dale has struggled all year. And all night. Perry has singled and doubled. He's 2 out of 3. He's driven in a run. It was his 63rd of the year. Gerald has had a year that's propelling him toward the big money. Curveball of beauty. It's 0-1.
I think if you ask Gerald about his year, the only thing he'd be disappointed in is his home run production. When the season started, he felt that he was going to be in double figures easily with home runs, and he has 6 right now.
0-1 the count.
But then when you think that some of those baseballs sound like they were, home run production is down, they might have kept them in the icebox.
The 0-1. Off-speed curveball. It's 0-2. So Perry is quickly in the hole. Larry McWilliams up again. He joins John Costello in the Cardinal pen.
Here comes Whitey.
It's a funny time. The count is 0-2, and here comes Herzog. And it looks like he's contemplating a double switch.
He might bring McWilliams in the pitch to Perry.
With an 0-2 count?
I don't know. Let's see.
I think he went to the umpire first to check on De Leon's physical condition.
That's what it is.
And he's got a bad arm, according to Herzog, and he's going to make a move here. It may just have stiffened up on him. Larry McWilliams will come in out of the bullpen in an unusual spot, ahead in the count. No balls, 2 strikes, and he'll have as much time as he wishes or needs to warm up because De Leon is leaving the game due to an injury. As McWilliams comes on, we'll break away for this.
This relief break is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol, because the pitcher isn't the only one at this ball game who needs some relief.
Do you know how fast you were going? Did you know this license has expired?
Now, when you want twice the Pepto, you've got it. New maximum strength Pepto-Bismol.
Over the past 5 years, Braves fans have been very pleased with the quality of merchandise in the Clubhouse Collection. We know because they have reordered again and again. With the Braves Clubhouse Collection catalog, you can purchase Braves T-shirts, caps, and jackets in many different styles. We also offer authentic Braves jerseys as well as bats, balls, pennants, and a big selection of gift and novelty items. Order your catalog today. Just send your name, address, and $1 to Braves Catalog. Post Office Box 4006, Atlanta, Georgia 30302.
Speed Demon Vince Coleman sparks the St. Louis offense. Braves versus Cardinals, live.
We got the will. Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, one crazy summer.
7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
Right here, you see Mike Rourke, the pitching coach, talking with De Leon, and you see right there he points toward the right shoulder. Something is bothering him there. It might just be stiffness. We hope so. He pitched a heck of a game. 7+ innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch, 2 runs. The runner at first here is his responsibility. He's in a spot where He can win the game. He cannot lose it. And McWilliams will take as much time as he wants. It probably won't be too much, for he has been up before in this ball game. Steve and Linda Berghardt here from Whitney Point, New York, up near Binghamton, rooting for the Braves. They watch the Superstation all the time. You see the numbers on Larry McWilliams. He had an odd situation. He had a bad arm that didn't hurt. But that's why the velocity was so low last year when the Braves tried to employ his services. He had it worked on during the offseason. Has been a much better pitcher this year.
He might be just in to pitch to Perry, too, because Murphy's a right-handed batter, and so is Thomas A. Fowler. We'll watch and see. It's got to bother Whitey Herzog when De Leon has to leave, because it's a warm night. And I can recall when Jose Rio in Cincinnati had to leave on that real hot Sunday afternoon. And he mentioned that he knew he had a problem when his arm would hurt on such a hot day. Cold day, a little different.
The 0-2, nowhere near, almost a wild pitch, a ball and 2 strikes. Guerrero in for a word with McWilliams. A ball and 2 strikes. Larry Mack gets the sign from Pena. And the 1-2 pitch. High with a fastball. It's 2-2. Whatever Perry does, pro or con, belongs to McWilliams, despite the 2 strikes rung up by De Leon. The 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Sidearm curve. Good job of hitting just to stay alive. He was off stride, but got enough of it to pop the foul back. Tying run at first. Go ahead run potentially at the plate. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th. Perry now at 323. Struck him out with a breaking ball. So McWilliams does his job. He gets Perry. Here comes Herzog, and as Ernie conjectured, John Costello will get the call here.
It's a breaking ball. Comes a little sidearm with it. Starts it right at him, and it breaks away. That's 1 out.
Kind of short but effective night's work for Larry McWilliams. He faced one man and struck him out. Now John Costello will get the call. And as Costello comes in, we'll go out for this.
This relief break is brought to you by Pepto-Bismol, because the pitcher isn't the only one at this ball game who needs some relief.
Do you know how fast you were going? Did you know this license has expired?
Now, when you want twice the Pepto, you've got it. New maximum strength Pepto-Bismol.
It's tough for me to stay close to the action these days. Especially since I'm used to being the action. But now, I found the best way to stay on top of basketball and all my favorite sports is by reading the Sporting News, America's sports authority.
Call 1-800-257-1234 and get 55 issues of the Sporting News for 4 payments of just $7.50. Call now 1-800-257-1234. That's 1-800-257-1234.
Speed demon Vince Coleman sparks the St. Louis offense. Braves versus Cardinals, live.
We got the will. Oh, what a thrill. Goodness gracious, one crazy summer.
7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night.
You see the numbers on Costello. He has no saves, but he's pitched extremely well for the Cardinals. And he'll face Dale Murphy here. Murph 0 for 3. He's hit into a double play, struck out, and bounced to third. Costello has no saves this year in 25 appearances. But he's got a chance to get one tonight. And now Dan Quisenberry is up in the bullpen for St. Louis, the former Kansas City standout. Costello and Pena talk it over, and Murphy ready to stand in. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 St. Louis. 1 on, 1 out. Big Braves fan and old friend Charlie Paul Sell looking in Columbia, Missouri tonight. Murphy steps out of the batter's box. Herman Jimenez against Greg Matthews tomorrow night. Peter Smith against Scott Terry on Wednesday. We'll have them both for you at 7:35 Eastern Time here on TBS. They play Murphy straight away and, of course, deep. Oh, what a cut at a fastball, but he fouled it back 0-1. If anything, Ozzie Smith cheats Murphy to hit the ball up the middle. The hole between short and third is a large one.
They're playing Murphy differently than when De Leon was in here. They gave Murphy a big hole in left center and had the center fielder over, maybe indicating that that's the way they were going to pitch Murphy, or that they didn't feel that he would pull De Leon. They're more straight away now.
0-1 is the count. John Costello is set. 0-2. He's got two great swings, but so far nothing to show for it. That graphic lets you know Dale is due for a long one. James is back. Guerrero tries to shove him off the base. It doesn't work. Murph waits. And the 0-2 fouled back into the upper deck. Count stays 0-2. One on, one out. Costello has come with high heat. And again is 0-2. Instead, to first, James back on his stomach, but made it easily. Andres Thomas waits on deck. Upstairs, Pena bluffs a throw to first, but James is close to the bag. A ball and two strikes. In the ninth, the Cardinals send the heart of their order, Guerrero, Brunansky, and Pendleton to the plate against Rick Mahler, who again has pitched extremely well, but to this point has nothing to show for it. Curve outside, 2-2. Well, you're an old relief pitcher, and what do you do now? That high fastball or try another deuce?
I got to throw him another breaking ball. I wouldn't throw Murphy many fastballs, but then I didn't have one, so I'd throw him breaking ball.
Well, let's see what Costello does. Fastball fouled back. Still 2-2. If he could throw his curveball for a strike, he'd probably get him, but he's been unable to do it yet. Why is it the players keep looking younger every year?
I don't know,
that?
because we're getting older. If he throws him a breaking ball, and that's what I would throw, you've got a better chance on a low breaking ball to get a double play ball. And we'll see what they do this time.
The 2-2 to Murph. Fly ball, right field. No carry to it. Brunansky in a couple of steps. 2 out. Looked like a curveball, didn't it?
I'm not sure. I think it was either a slider or a fastball, and it was a hard pitch. And he kept it away. He made a good pitch. He made Murphy reach for it.
They say De Leon strained the front part of his right shoulder. They'll know more about his condition in a day or two. But the good news is there are no announcement of any precautionary x-rays or anything like that. So it's up to Andres Thomas if Atlanta's going to get back into things here in the 8th. Paul Runge on deck. Throw to first, runner back. John Costello, the third Cardinal pitcher of the night. All have been effective to this point. That breaking ball is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Ernie Johnson, Skip Carey with you from Atlanta. Thomas out of the batter's box. The 1-0 pitch will not be made. Costello off the mound. Thomas waits patiently. He has really matured as a ball player this year, Andres Thomas. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Popped up, Guerrero in foul territory, and the inning is over. He used his outfielding abilities that time to run to a spot, look up, and wait for the ball. So McWilliams and Costello take care of business. No hits, no runs, no errors, 1 left. We go to the 9th inning. It's 3-2 Cardinals.
It's tough for me to stay close to the action these days. Especially since I'm used to being the action. But now, I found the best way to stay on top of basketball and all my favorite sports is by reading the sporting news, America's Sports Authority.
Call 1-800-257-1234 and get 55 issues of the sporting news for 4 payments of just $7.50. Call now 1-800-257-1234. That's 1-800-257-1234.
Willie McGee and the fast and powerful Redbirds soar into Atlanta. Braves versus Cardinals, live, 7:35 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow night. The heroes, the horror, the hilarious. The fall premiere is here with the movies on Superstation TBS. From the banks of the Rio Grande to the sands of Iwo Jima, Superstation TBS salutes the Duke. John Wayne begins October 8th with 20 of his greatest movies. Sheriff Buford Fusser, a true modern legend. Walking Tall, Part 2, Walking Tall. And final chapter, Walking Tall. Charles Bronson keeps the streets safe, while the Beastmaster wields his mighty sword. And Eastwood ravages the Wild West. The horror of history's darkest hours comes alive inside the Third Reich and deep in the jungles of South America. They say war is hell, but MASH proves that war can also be hilarious. The fall premiere is here with the movies, only on the Superstation this fall.
We go to the 9th inning, and the villain, Pedro Guerrero, is the batter. His 3-run homer in the 3rd with 2 out has put the Cardinals on top. And it came, as they so often do, after a bunt single. Seems like that's a catalyst for a lot of big innings. Hot shot. Runge, a good play. Leaps to his feet and throws him out. 1 down. Runge took a possible double away from Guerrero. 1 away.
Nice play by Runge. Diving to his right. Guerrero's hit the ball hard all night. He knew right then all I've got to do is get up and throw a strike. Guerrero runs fairly well, but he's out by a couple of strides.
For the Braves in the 9th, Runge, Benedict, and Blocker are due against John Costello. Tom Brunansky, 1 for 3. He's a picture of concentration. Fouls the fastball back, 0-1. 3-2 St. Louis. Cardinals trying to win their 60th and hand the Braves. But why bring that up? Their 86th, the loss of the year. On the corner. 0-2. Terry Pendleton waits on deck. Just missed the corner. It's 1-2. In one-run games, the Cardinals are 17-26. The Braves are 18-23. One ball, two strikes. Bernansky, they play straight away. Missed outside with a breaking ball. It's 2-2. He really holds his arms out away from his body, does Bernansky. Slow curve, high pop, short left. Deion James comes in. Near the line waiting. Two are out. Pendleton, the batter, is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball hard twice to deep center, but both have been handled by Terry Blocker. One of them an outstanding play. Ernie, what's happening in the other baseball?
Let's check it out, Skip.
Good idea.
The Mets picked up a couple of more. They now lead San Diego 3-6-0 as they go to the 7th. Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati 8-1. LaPointe wins another one. What a deal that was.
A little tap. Mailer over fast. Can't get to it. Gant gets there late. An infield hit for Pendleton. Mailer does not run well. I think Gant thought he'd get to that ball. He gave it all he had, but it wasn't enough.
Yes, Gant slowed up because he thought Mailer was going to make the play, and then Rick couldn't make the play. You can see Gant in the background thinking that Mailer will make it. Couldn't have made it any better if you rolled it down there.
Jose Oquendo, the batter, and Mailer was about to offer up his 100th pitch.
I don't know if Gant could have thrown out Pendleton either because it was hit that slow.
0-1.
Okay, Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati 8-1. The Dodgers just picked up a run top of the 8th. They lead Montreal 2-1 going to the bottom of the 8th. Griffin a home run in the 8th. Stubbs also homered for their 2 runs. The Phillies are beating the Giants 3-0 in the 8th.
On the corner, 0-2.
Houston 1, Chicago 0 now in the 6th. The White Sox and Detroit 1-1 bottom of the 5th. Cleveland leading Kansas City 3-0 bottom of the 5th. Toronto 1, Milwaukee 0 bottom of the 5th. Minnesota 3-2 over Texas bottom of the 5th. And the other games have not started out on the coast.
The 0-2 to Jose Oquendo. A little tap. Runge to his left. Good play to second, and the inning is over. But the Braves trail by 1 as we move to the bottom of the 9th.
Even when all of Company B heads for the phone, it's no problem for Gail Godfrey.
Delta Airlines, Gail Godfrey.
Y'all fly to Lubbock, Texas?
Yes, that is confirmed.
I got some friends who want to talk to you now. Just hold on a second. Thank you. Cincinnati, Ohio. New York City. Monroe, Louisiana.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
San Jose, California. Portland, Oregon. Butte, Montana.
You're all set. Thank you for calling, Delta.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Gail. Did you get many calls this afternoon?
1.
Delta, we love to fly, and it shows.
Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. Pick up a copy today wherever paperbacks are sold.
Checking channels? Check CNN to find out what in the world is going on. CNN. Stay informed.
Tomorrow, an afternoon in the country is transformed into a nightmare on Little House on the Prairie. Then, on the Superstation Morning Movie, Robbie Benson is a normal American boy with one tragic difference. Death Be Not Proud, beginning at 9:05 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, Ponge and John put their lives on the line to rescue a fellow officer from a band of brutal bikers on chips. Then, they have a dream and only one shot at making it all come true, but the odds are stacked against them.
Get off this man!
Takedown. It all starts at 12:05 Eastern on the Superstation tomorrow.
Paul Runge will lead off the Braves half of the 9th inning. Arnie gave you all the scores. We should point out Richmond won their game tonight. Derek Lilliquist won his 10th. He's pitched a lot of innings in AAA this year. And Greenville won the first game of a twilight doubleheader in AA baseball. So a good night for the highest farm teams for the Braves, but a rally is needed to make it the same for the big club. And it is late. It's the 9th. Runge has bounced to short and struck out twice. And he looks at a fast strike over the outside corner. This guy can bring it up there in good order. 0-1. Ernie, why don't you turn your head around? Maybe that'll change our luck.
Like this?
No, all the way around, not like that. Pop foul back and out of play.
Looks the same both ways.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Plantation hat. Just came down from the plantation today. Hasn't brought any luck.
There it is.
There it is.
And a delightful sight it is.
Yes, it is. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, let's turn it halfway. It's not going to help now. One away. Costello has his first strikeout on the 10th by Cardinal pitchers tonight.
Comes Simmons.
For Benedict. Simmons had an interesting quote in the paper the other day. Said he has been told that he's going to manage Syracuse next year. He's been told, not by the people who run the Syracuse club, he's been told he's going to manage Richmond next year, but not by the people connected with the Braves. He's been told the Cardinals want him back. He's been told the Braves want to sign him, but none of those things have been told to him by the people who make those decisions.
I think the network said him going to Houston on Saturday. He's still here. Still the same old guy, Ted Simmons. He's a good asset to a ball club, but he will stay in baseball, I'm sure.
He doesn't have to. He's got a very good job fastball outside, or has in the past in the banking business back in St. Louis. He'd like to knock one right out of here. Low and away, 2-0. He's a good cripple shooter and a good fastball hitter. Let's see what happens. On the 2-ball, no strike count, Jose Alvarez is in the Atlanta bullpen. No activity for the Cardinals. He chased a high fastball that appeared to be out of the strike zone. 2 balls and a strike. There's Alvarez. The 2-1 chop to Guerrero. He will take it himself. And the Braves are down to their final swing. And Terry Blocker will be the batter. Well, this will be if the Braves lose it. The 4th complete game for Rick Mailer, and another very tough loss for him. Our producer tonight, Glenn Diamond, Tom Smith, our director, our technical director, Rick Rayford, Ken Nolan, our associate director, Laurie Burns, Hal Galima on graphics, audio by Stephanie Ray Bradley, and Jim Reeves on video. 0-1. Lonnie Smith has moved on deck to pinch hit for Mailer, but Blocker's going to have to do something to give him a shot. Terry is 1 for 3, singled up the middle in the 7th. And that was against Jose De Leon. Right through there. So far, not a whole lot of excitement generated here in the 9th inning.
You're absolutely right, Ollie.